was getting the gunpowder from Asia, and they was using what's called a spear box first. Then when they got into Europe,
I do.
they began to make single action firearms.
So exactly, and I told so you know that part, Rod Hayes. Rod Hayes is a very intelligent man. Listen to another podcast and that I know Rod Hayes from, and the reality is we've been bamboozled. If you're colonized and you lose the war, guess what? You know,
That's what I was saying right there.
we integrated. So when we integrated, anybody can write a book. There's
Right.
so many fictional books out here.
Yes.
We believe in fiction.
Preach. Preach.
Anybody can write a book. If you go to school, you integrate, and you go to school in their systems, they're gonna have you read books. They're gonna brainwash you with whatever they want to brainwash you with. So, and that's just the reality of this is what happened. This is what happened. So, anytime National Geographic exposed that the oldest bones was Negro bones on this land, even them terms Indian and all that, those are all different names that they gave us
Yes.
when they
Oh, you better preach. Preach.
when they denationalized us. They denationalized us, you know, and that's what happened. First, when the colonizers came over here, they they saw that they thought they were Indian, that were in India when they came over here.
Okay,
Because,
the problem I got with that's the story they tell us.
but that's probably a lie too.
Listen, it was Hindustan all the way up into the 1940s or 50s.
Hmm.
So what India was he looking for if it was Hindustan?
Mm-hmm.
Let that settle on the brain for a minute.
Head chop. Head chop.
That's and sister, let me say this. I'm telling you, when I was young and went to school, it wasn't no Africans in the school with me. And I'm from AC. It wasn't not a one, and I've asked people over the age of 50, over the age of 40, sometimes some I'll go from like 45. They didn't go to school with no Africans. When they started being in school with Africans, they were in high school and college.
My thing
And it was
about that,
sprinkled.
and my thing is, I'm not trying to create any delineation in a negative, you know,
No,
between
I'm not
us,
either. I'm not either. I'm just
between
saying.
between us and them, because you know they are our kin, but we need to claim the land that we're on.
That's what I'm saying.
Look, that takes me to the question that's in the on the screen right now.
Yeah.
If y'all was always here, why did you let them take your land?
Mm-hmm.
They keep telling me they stole.
Oh,
They
Lord.
keep telling me they stole the land, right? But every time I look out my window, it's still here. Part of theft is the concealment.
The problem is that we integrated. We left from
That's
their
not
side.
that's not the problem because we've been fighting niggas the whole time.
Right.
Well, that comes along with integration, you know.
But you know what? I think wait to your Rob, because I don't want that what you said a few minutes ago. I hope people caught what you said, and I don't want that going over nobody's head about how is it possible that he was looking for India when there was no India and it was called Hindustan.
Mm-hmm.
That's a head chop.
Right.
Yeah, that's so it was no such
Make sure
thing
you
as
explain that though, Dots. It
there
wasn't
was.
called that. So what? That how could they be looking for something?
That's right.
Well,
Exactly.
that's how you know the books are lie. They lie. They lying.
So much, like you say, anybody
Anything is
can write one. We
anybody.
was that me and you Dots talking about that earlier. Even people that's on drugs in jail, all kinds of write books.
Anybody can write a book if you go to their
No, they can't.
institution. Well, you could.
In order for a book, in order for somebody to write the book, first thing they gotta have is some self discipline. And so many motherfuckers don't have self discipline. Self discipline is the most needed currency in the community right now. Ain't nobody got no self-discipline. Very few people got the discipline it take to sit down and write a book. Very few.
Okay, but my point was to say that they wrote a book. We went to school in their systems, and they brainwashed us with their literature. You know how the saying goes: anybody can write a book. It's just like saying but you know, like.
Then you got to remember before the 1950s, they didn't have no uniform school system. Only certain people was taught how to read.
That's right.
Only the select few was taught how to read. So they tell us that the history is written by the victors, the ones who won. Now, if they won, right, and they write in the history, where do the loser find the truth in the history? Right? Because you got to mirror it. They gonna tell you the story in reverse. They gonna glorify they characters and vilify yours, so to make it look like that you taking sides with the righteous party when all the time you taking sides with the enemy, but you don't know it. They got to write a history that is going to make the people that they call themselves conquering submissive to the conquest. At any given time, if they educate themselves above the condition and begin to see what's taking place, then they can say, hold up, wait a minute, this is my shit. I want my stuff back. Give my stuff back. Right? Now, all you had to do was find a Jubilee year. They told us it was a Jubilee year when the Queen Lizard bitch pushed the button on the triple helix. Right? And so that was supposed to be the Jubilee celebration. So we doing the oral tradition and the redemption, crossing the Maherta, which is when we lined up to the center of the galaxy in the 8 years, so we could catch the infinity loop to flip out of the infinity loop that stops us from chasing our tail, right? And then we go to a 9 year where the baby is about to be born. The job is done now. Right?
I had a question about the land piece real quickly before we continue to move on, because that always, I always ask questions about that because it's really fascinating and interesting. And on maybe 2 shows prior, there was a lot, when you came on, there was a lot of questions in the comments that was left about wanting you to expand on like the effects of tenant farming versus sharecropping. And I also wanted to get into the Homestead Act as well. But I'm going to share this real quick. I want to share this thing real quick with you guys.
Whether they salvage right jurisdiction of the crash of the Plymouth, which was the Mayflower, is to send an expedition. Now remember, while Lewis and Clark is going north and west, all of the tribes going to give support to the war effort in Florida is going south and east. So when they see all of the castles empty, because I'm not sending my son to war and I ain't fighting next to him. This is how we move over here on the land. But over there, they will send their son to war and stay at home under their blanket in front of the fireplace. We didn't believe in that over here. So while we was going to fight in the Gullah Wars, they assessing the land off of the assessment of the Louisiana Purchase. Apparently, the report comes back, there's no royalty on the land because the castles is empty. What castles? The one in Chicago, Minnesota, Montana, all the way across to Oregon and Washington State. So we all going to fight in the war. They saying that the crash site was bigger than they anticipated and they needed to expand their salvage operations, which opened up the squatters lanes. The squatter lanes came in when there was large portions of land appointed to a tribe by the tribal mother council. But because the tribe only lived in a small portion of the land, they assumed, oh, this ain't nobody land. But when you go back and you look at all of the attempts to buy land from the chiefs, we look at them like they crazy. You can't buy and sell Mama Earth. That's the most ridiculous thing we ever heard of. Right? So they create their paperwork, their allodial title system, in order to lay claim under the salvage right what the squatter has returned to the crown.
I'm so happy that we got Rod. You bringing the ladies out tonight. We have Big Sister YM, Z Real, Goddess Moalita. Sorry if I mispronounced that. Welcome, ladies. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Who came up first? I'm not sure.
Big so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Peace and love, ladies. I love what you sisters are doing, and I've been pretty much, I'm raised in Brooklyn, New York, all of my life. Right now, I live in Delaware. My thing is, I know you do. I've been waiting for us to bump heads and so we can link up. But so I've been on this journey, my sisters and Uncle Rod, for many, many years. But I am a lesbian woman, so even though I'm on this journey, I'm not often accepted by our community. Now, as someone that does live Wusabat, Baba Yanu only taught us love. That is it. But I try to extend that to our brothers and sisters, and it's not often received because of how I live. And I think that's a personal choice of mine, and it doesn't have anything to do with what I stand for. What I stand for is love, peace, and unity. Because I'm a 70s baby, and when I was coming up, that's all we knew. And I feel as though when we had nothing, we were better off as a people. But now, because we have all these devices and all these things taking our attention away, what is the prize? We are lost because our babies have fallen prey to all of this. We were born, coming up in the 70s. I'm from Marcy Projects, my grandparents rather. And, we didn't always have, but we had each other and we had love. And love is the thing that I feel is lacking the most. So this is why I love what you sisters do. And I love you, Uncle Rod. And I just love us. And I just want to see us do better. But I see so many of our brothers and sisters, they're lost. They're lost. I talk to them all the time because I'm on the wrong side of Delaware. Because I let somebody move me from New York to here. And this is where I wound up. And I sometimes feel like I'm on the wrong side because no one around me is like-minded like me. So I just feel like, yeah, and I thought about that too, Uncle Rod, and I said, I've been here for 11 years. I must be here for a reason. You know what I'm saying? And I'm constantly trying to reach my people. Please stop what you're doing. But it's so hard. And then my family, I just try to reach all of them. But it seems like nobody's listening most of the time.
Well, somebody listening. It must like that might not be the one you're trying to get the message to, but somebody listening.
Thank you.
It's always somebody listening.
Always.
Why are you in your personal life? That's your personal business, and they're the ones without seeing to cast the first stone.
Okay, that part.
Thank you. That's what I always say too.
And you can put your information in the private chat, okay? Because we do we do sister talks, and we love to hear the opinions of other sisters, concerning what our fight, what we going through.
Thank you, and I will do that. And for you sisters, I'm waiting on my Cash App to come in the mail right now because I really stopped messing with Cash App once that incident happened with the guy that was owning Cash App. I kind of just stopped. But once my Cash App does come, I will be sending you sisters something, and that is from me to you, and that's out of love.
Thank you.
Because I don't have nothing but my word, and my word is my bond.
Okay.
The fact that you're here with us tonight is more than enough, and we appreciate your presence and your support, really and truly.
Thank you.
Definitely, and send love to definitely Chief
Girl in the house. Hey, girly girl.
Yes. You got it. All right, who's next? Come on, y'all, with the questions. Who came in next?
Z Real. Hey, Z Real. Hey, sister.
How are you guys? How are you having me?
Right, we'll bring the sisters out.
We're bringing the ladies out, right?
Yes.
I love it.
And step back, girl magic.
Okay.
Uh-oh. That
When
girl
y'all,
magic, I put that shit on everything.
okay.
Okay.
There you go. There you go.
All right, Zero. Sorry, we like how we are. Go ahead, you got
Oh,
it.
I'm here for the festivities. Okay. I'm
Jump
ready
in.
for children all day, every day. So I appreciate the sisters and Chief P, of course. Now listen, this is the thing that I had an issue with, right? How come some Spaniard people play like they with us, but they came over? So I'm usually confused as to which group claims Native American heritage, which group is acting like they're us and down with us, because they embody my children. So in East Harlem, 116, that's we usually where I derived from when I started raising my children. And so my children made a group.
Harlem.
You know,
Excuse me, Harlem, Miss
baby,
Harlem.
I sent you a shout out when you said it, boo.
Harlem World all day. What?
Day.
All day.
Now,
Sorry, you
I'm
got it.
originally from Brooklyn, so y'all
I got
already
it.
know we can go
I
back.
got
Big
it.
K in the building.
And I am from Nostrand Avenue, from
Yeah.
Me too. Big up in they what?
right.
New
We
Shout
York.
out
from
to shout out to all five boroughs in NYC, the
All
Empire
day.
State, the Big
All
Apple.
day long. New York. All day long.
Yes.
I keeps it moving. I keeps it moving. But anyway, so what I notice is that we're mixed, and so my children are mixed. So when they go down into the Spanish community, they are embraced. So I can understand the Spaniards that are there. Now I moved to PA, and I really can't tell the difference. So in PA, they set themselves apart from our nation. So
Okay,
it was
let
like
me give you a little background that might help you understand what's going on. The Spaniards um, invaded all of those Latin American countries that gave them the language of Spanish. And the other people that's not as dark as us know that it's a conflict going on between two groups of people with similar phenotypes with different genetic backgrounds. Smashed us all together to see if we can figure out who he is 200 years later. So they don't want to get caught up in the conflict between the L's and the B's. They look at it like I'm staying out of y'all family business, but when it's time for us to take a side, we already picked a side. In most Spanish speaking countries, they identify with a native origin more than they do the colonizer's origin. The Puerto Ricans, Arawak Boricua,
right,
right? It's the same with most of the islands have kindred tribes. When you get to Mexico, you got different ethnic stocks throughout Mexico, but all they show you is the Chinese Negro hybrid. They don't show you the Afro Mexicans or the ones up in the mountains fighting for liberation for the Zapatista. They don't show you those Mexicans because they too dark and some of them curls is too tight. So they don't want you to think that Mexico have a diversified cultural background of different tribes from the land. We do. We always had every skin color over here. Skin color was not the issue. Skin color was the parameters of war gave to us as what we call legal doctrine of free white persons, the attackers, the invaders, and the black pieces, which is the defenders, the civilly mortis, the ones found dead at sea in a salvage operation, right? So the Spanish, they want to be a part of the tribal team that's victorious. When you hear El Chapo talking to them Mexicans, you gonna understand what I'm talking about. Because he been communicating with Larry Hoover and Malachi York, and I didn't even know Larry Hoover knew how to speak Spanish, but apparently he do.
For sure. And I was going to ask you about that. I wanted to ask you about Dr. York. And go ahead.
But when they're in Spanish Harlem, even the Mexicans, they do not associate with us. They identify. They have that party, that parade all up 3rd Avenue. They monopolize, and I know because I used to live on the 12th floor, and they start that sucker 9:30, 10 o'clock with that daggone parade. And they go all day. But they do not they live in our neighborhoods, but they do not give recognition at all to us. Now, I'm anti, I go, because you ain't on my roster, I can't be bored.
As long as they don't recognize us, I'm good with that.
Well, you know what? So...
Yeah, but they're in our neighborhoods, not to cut you off. They're in our neighborhoods. They sell us their products. We buy them. Don't get us started with the corn and stuff. But they get crazy with that. However, they'll sell us. They'll take our money. And they don't speak to you or interact in the same, and psychologically.
Yes.
That I was from Brooklyn. Now, Brooklyn, that's a family hood. You know, you all up and down.
You know, all of those stores that they own now, we used to own them.
Yeah. Yeah. But you know what? So there is a distinction, right? So those from Central America, the Mexicans, Guatemalans, there's a clear separation. But I know growing up, Puerto Ricans always identified themselves as black. Like if there were Dominicans were the ones that were like, I ain't black. A Dominican will tell you in a heartbeat they not black.
Don't leave the Cubans out.
It's like, but like I know in my high school, usually in terms of the Spanish kids, like if you was Boricua, right? If you was Puerto Rican, usually they were hanging out with the black kids in Harlem.
You know,
the Dominicans were the ones who was like, no.
Yeah, that Joe said, I didn't even know I wasn't a nigga. They said they just to the foundation of Black Americans told me.
You know what? I think that our problem. I think. I'm sorry. What did
he say? Can he say that again? What did he say?
Why, Hayes?
I said, Fat Joe. He said, I didn't even know I wasn't a nigga to the foundation of Black Americans told me I wasn't. He always knew he was a nigga. He's just a Puerto Rican nigga.
But in Harlem, they associate with Caucasian. They do.
I'm sorry, but she's right. She's right. Me being from Brooklyn, New York, do you know how many times I've been outside in a Hispanic neighborhood waiting for a cab in the pouring down rain and they wouldn't stop for me? I lived on Linden in Lower Mall projects, nothing but Hispanics out there. They looked at me like I had 3 heads, like I wasn't even a part of them at all.
I want you to think about this for a second. There's 5 boroughs in New York, but it's one city. Look at each borough and tell me the common denominator that separates them. They normally, groups of people gravitate to a specific borough.
True.
Right? The reason they gravitate to that borough is that's their assigned location on the land. Now, original tribal rules say that when you come over here to stay under your own vine and fig tree, don't impose your cultural beliefs and your personal beliefs on the neighboring clans. They follow it. We want them to come and impose their stuff on us. Let them people be about their business. Because when the rubber meet the road and the shit hit the fan, you're going to look over and you're going to see a Mexican on this side of you and a Puerto Rican on that side of you, a Jamaican behind you, a Haitian in front of you, and then you're going to see a whole bunch of us regular niggas.
All right, let's hear from Goddess Malati. I'm sorry, is he real?
On 125th Street, they monopolize, take over, where the indigenous man can't even make it a sale and take care of his own family.
Remember that we used to have all of that stuff they got before they had it.
Right.
You got to think about why we don't got it now.
But Uncle Rod, it wasn't like that. Like when I was growing up in the '70s, like when my uncle came home from Vietnam, he had
Y'all
a
not
bunch of
speaking for y'all niggas.
Hispanic friends. But what happened? How did we get so separated?
Big sister, hold on. Crystal, Miss KL,
Yes.
is that goddess Molita. Can you? Somebody has to mute up because it's double check. It's coming back as back chat. And big sister, once you're done, we're gonna get goddess Molita. She's been waiting for a minute. Ask the question.
Go ahead, sister. I'm done. I'm done.
Mute up if mute up everyone else, please. Goddess Molita, you have it. You have the floor. Welcome. Goddess Molita.
Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Welcome. Welcome to Unscrambled Minds.
Thank you. Thank you. I just want to send love and light to the whole panel. Chief Pontiac.
Thank
Yeah.
you so much.
How you doing, sir?
I'm not doing too good. I
What's
had a
wrong?
dinner. Well, I'm a little bit under the weather. I went to the dentist and I'm just trying to recover from that.
Oh, okay.
But what I want to say, Chief has unscrambled this egg so well that our language is what has to change. When we're referring to ourselves as Black and all the other names that they have
Misnomers.
tried, yeah, the misnomers, and y'all bear with me because I usually don't come in and speak live. So I'm a little nervous and I'm a little bit under the weather. But anyway, what I want to say is the words that we use is so relevant today in this time that we have to work on changing our language. Our language is atrocious. We're calling ourselves things that we're not. People are referring to us as things that we are not. And every chance that I get, I work on correcting people. And I just say, like your language is what is causing you to think like white people was this, black people was that. And there's a sister who runs I don't think, no, I think it's a Facebook. I think her name is Lisa Siren or something. And she broke down that white thing not the white thing, the black thing so well. The pale people are the black people. Am I not correct, Chief?
To blacken means to make pale.
Right. And all this slavery talk, they were the ones who were being shipped on, what was that, cargo ships and containers.
Mm-hmm.
And so what they have basically done is flipped the narrative to try to make us think that this is us that they're talking about.
Absolutely.
And it's not us. But we keep getting wrapped up in it like, oh, well, this land was the slave land and this, that, and no. Chief has pointed out to us clearly who own this land. Or not own it. True caretakers, right, Chief?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we just have to learn how to start putting that type of language into our tongues so we can correct these people. Because I'm at the point where I'm just tired of the nonsense, right? And people walking around here not understanding who or not knowing who we are. It's time over for that. And we have to begin to walk in our sovereignty. And forget whoever want to say they don't want to be around us for whatever reason, because that's pure ignorance. We are everybody's parent as indigenous people of Turtle Island. Okay, Chief, and then last thing, because I know I can go on and on and on, and y'all gave me some energy because I was feeling so bad. But I tapped into this thing. I didn't even know how to do it. So I was probably the one messing up the static and all that. But anyway,
You here now?
I'm here and I'm grateful. And I give thanks to all of y'all that do what y'all do. I've been working to try to get enough courage up to try to start my own little content. However, I'm still waiting to see which way we turn in this boat, because some people still too confused for me, right? And I don't get the confusion no more. We know who we are. We know what has happened. If you want to claim that you some type of American or U.S. citizen, then that means that you are a part of Washington, D.C. And what is Washington, D.C., Chief? District Columbia, right?
It's closed down now.
And it's closed down. So what are we constantly arguing about when we talking about who is who? We just need to stand up and change our language and forget what these so-called white people or any other ignorant mind is constantly trying to, not predict, but, the narrative. They're still going with that narrative.
Mm-hmm.
It's straight bullshit.
You got to remember that the number one tool was divide and conquer. The more divisive they make us between ourselves, the more control they have over our movement. And the unity comes in when if you watch nature, when the tribes are about to join together or the clans, first they huddle up amongst each other first, right? This is what you're looking at culturally. All of the cultures is first they go over to themselves, right? Nature gonna do that. They're gonna naturally make them gravitate toward to the people like them in the local area. So you'll see, like in New York, you'll see the separation of the different Spanish speaking groups because the Puerto Ricans don't live exactly with the Dominicans. They might live neighbor to each other in buildings, but they know that this is the Puerto Rican building, and this is the Dominican building, and this is the Mexican building. So they all speak Spanish, but they all still come, and they first, before they can spread out with the unity, they first have to come together with themselves to say, okay, now let's assess what we have here. But we not realizing what's taking place, so we missing the opportunity to do a self-assessment for the benefit of our community because they got everybody so individually focused on me, myself, and I that nobody's looking at, okay, first we all come together among ourselves.